Hello everyone and welcome to This Day. Today is Thursday, July 13th and I'm Bobby Higgins. Coming up on today's show, Debbie Dotson joins us, the first Vice President of the Golden Rain Foundation. She's got a lot of information for us and updates, such as there might be electric vehicle chargers possibly installed behind the community center. Also some financial updates and committee updates like the Clubhouse One beautification project. So lots of information. Your board members are definitely working hard for you here in the village, so you don't want to miss that. And speaking of that, that brings us to our Stay Informed for today. We have a call for board candidates. Your skills are needed. Both Third Mutual and United Mutual are calling for interested members to submit candidate applications for the annual elections. Applications are available in the CEO office of the community center. Only 4 seats are available. There's still time to get your application and other documents in. They are due next week, 1 week from today, no later than 5 p.m. on Thursday, July 20th. And if elected, meetings start in early October. So good luck, candidates. That brings us to today's weather. Today will be sunny with a high of 86. Tonight will remain mostly clear with a low of 63. Friday and Saturday remain sunny with a high of 85. And Sunday and Monday, partly cloudy, but will give way to mostly sunny. Summer has definitely arrived. And now let's take a look at today's sunrise and sunset. This is a picture actually that I took last Friday night. Was taking a walk down in Laguna Beach, and this picture is overlooking Main Beach there. Today's sunrise was at 5:50 a.m. and tonight the sunset will be at 8:02 p.m. And if you would like to submit a photo to be considered for this day, please email us at lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com and just make sure that it is a horizontal picture, please. Include your name and the location of the picture and any information you have about the picture. That would be wonderful. So stay with us because we have a lot of information coming your way. Up next is the GRF update, but first let's take a look at today's meetings.
The Salvation Army Orange County is committed to building hope in people's lives rather than just more shelters. The Center of Hope, a comprehensive homeless care solution, combines a 325-bed emergency shelter, 72 permanent supportive housing apartments, on-site medical, dental, vision, and mental health care, and an award-winning drug and alcohol rehabilitation center. Donate today to transform lives, create safer neighborhoods, and provide an opportunity to end chronic homelessness in Orange County.
Achieve a level of comfort you've never known before. The Daydreamer will take you through smooth movements and guide you effortlessly into your favorite positions. Adjust the power pillow for ideal support for your head and neck. This and our positioning technology allows for infinite relaxation. Lay back in zero gravity while watching TV and put your body and mind at ease. Lift your spirits and find your favorite daydream. Contact your local Golden retailer today.
Do you have cavities, broken or missing teeth, tooth pain, or other dental problems? These issues can create more problems than you think, including affecting your overall health. Don't wait until it's too late. Contact Lohberg Dental today and your first exam and set of x-rays is free without insurance. It's a great way for you to experience our high-quality level of patient care while saving money too. Visit drlohberg.com to schedule your free exam and x-rays today.
Hi, welcome to Pacific Financial Planners. We focus on income replacement for your retirement. We have over 3 decades of professional money management experience. We personalize a plan that's right for you and your family. You only get one shot at retirement. Don't you think you better get it right? So give us a call for your free consultation. We can do this over the phone, via Zoom, or in person.
Welcome back to This Day. Joining me now is Debbie Dotson, the first Vice President of the Golden Rain Foundation. Thank you for being here today. It's so nice to meet you.
Well, thank you. Nice to meet you too, Bobby. Welcome to our village.
Thank you. So I'm learning about the hierarchy and how it works on board. So
Yes.
you're first VP.
Right.
So, but you're elected to that once you became a member of the board.
Right. So every year we have 3 seats that, or 3 to 4 seats that transition every year. Our board service is 3 years long, and so then once we have an organizational meeting, once the votes of who's going to be on the board for that year, and then the nominations internally on the board are made for the officer role. So president, first, second, vice president, treasurer, and secretary. So yes, and then your peers elect you on the board.
Yes, so interesting. And so what are your skills or your background, the things that you bring to this position?
Oh my gosh. I have about 40 plus years of business experience. I was in the healthcare field for 16 years. I've been in the educational technology field now for about 17 years. I do a lot of professional development. I'm an adjunct professor. I still work.
You're still teaching as a professor?
I am.
Where
Online.
are you teaching at?
I teach at University of Maryland Global Campus and National University.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun, and I volunteer to be on the board. I also volunteer for the PC Club. I do some of their classes. In fact, I'm going to do one this right after our show.
How do you have time for it all?
I don't know, but I was so tired when I got home. I was in Colorado Springs for 2 days training teachers, and I got home and I just collapsed. So yes, I do have to sleep sometimes.
Well, obviously you have lots of energy, and Village is very blessed to have your talents here. So going through some of the updates with the GRF.
Sure.
First off, the July 4th, the golf cart parade.
Right.
Tell us about that.
every year, they had a golf cart. They have had golf cart parades, and they've had different configurations of it. Well, the year before, I actually was in the golf cart parade with my technology golf cart, and but then everybody said, oh, it's over in gate, on a different gate. We want it. So this year we had simultaneous golf cart parade so that everyone got to enjoy it, and all the golf carts ended up at Clubhouse too.
Oh, I love that. That's so great. I heard there was like 100 golf carts.
Oh, probably more than that at least. I know. Everybody goes out really way. You would be surprised at how cool some of the golf carts are.
Oh, that's awesome. So, other thing you wanted to talk about, the Preparing for the Inevitable educational campaign. Tell me about this.
Well, we have this wonderful foundation in Laguna Woods that, they help our residents with temporary financial distress and social services and things like that. But they've decided that nobody wants to talk about the future, what that is, whether you're incapacitated. So they're starting a program of preparing for the inevitable about advanced directives, and one of the components I'm going to help them with, which is digital assets, because now we have Facebook, social media, and people don't realize that, they have things that if they were not able to go to their social media accounts or to things that they do digitally now, they need to put someone in charge of that. So I'm going to be talking about that for the foundation, and I'm very happy to be involved with that.
So basically like having someone who knows your passwords and all to get into all that kind of stuff.
Right, exactly. In fact, this month, my episode on my show is Let's Talk Tech is about digital assets and your legacy.
Interesting. Okay. And then something else is the garden centers, the advisory group.
Right. So we have 2 wonderful garden centers, and they grow some great vegetables and fruit there. And I think 2 times a year they actually have a sale. I think one's coming up. I should have looked at the date, but a lot of the gardeners have things that they'd like to say. So the Tom McCrae, who was the head of our golf operations, he's also taken over the garden center operation. So the staff suggested that we convene an advisory group of gardeners. And so we approved that, to have them go forward with that. Because of course, anytime we have a committee or a group, ad hoc or anything, it has to be approved by the board. So that was brought forth to us, and we did have quite a lively discussion about it, but we will do it, and we'll try it out. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. What are the concerns, or what are the things that you're trying to fix and make better?
Making sure everybody keeps their garden plots up, making sure that nobody's overlapping other people's, being kind when you're in the garden center. You know, there has been some construction in some of the garden plots that was not in compliance that had to be removed. And so gardeners, you know, most of our gardeners are very diligent. They love their gardens. They really take care of them. And so they want to just keep it that way.
What are the non-compliant things so that people know?
I don't know if I should tell this, but I'm going to. We found a structure, I think about 2 years ago, built where people were there with, it was kind of like a bar, an outdoor bar.
So you're enjoying your garden.
They were enjoying their garden too much.
So how could you maybe do that would be in compliance without, so was it like a building, like a shed type thing?
Yes,
so it's
we have rules, right.
Okay.
Yeah, we have written rules of what you can and cannot do, and everybody has to agree to that.
Right,
and you have to follow those rules, or you will be in violation, and you will come before the hearing committee for compliance violation.
But I do love the feeling and the joy behind it of like, hey, I've worked really hard to cultivate this garden, and I want to sit here and look at it and enjoy it. I do love that spirit.
It was a little more than that. That's why we had to get rid of it. But we agree that you're not supposed to drink in your garden, though. Okay.
So there's the electrical vehicle chargers behind the
yes.
community center. This is a hot topic, you were saying.
Yeah, it is. So years ago, we got some grants and we put in chargers behind the community center here. And then our residents get a slightly reduced cost. They're through a company called ChargePoint. And we've been talking about EV chargers in the village and you know, what's going to happen in the future now for several years. It's just, those are right now what we have. But it was determined that we weren't covering the cost of the electricity. So what we have right now is we've asked the staff to start to monitor, because we don't subsidize people's gasoline in their tanks. So we can't really subsidize their electric use outside either. So we need to make sure we're breaking even. So the staff is embarking on a project to review that each month and bring that back to the board so that we can determine how we best move forward with it. There's 2 types of chargers back there. One of the things about EV chargers is the technology is changing rapidly, and new types of chargers are coming. Many gas stations are actually going to be adding chargers in the next 3 to 5 years.
Oh, I did not know
at
that.
gas stations. So the availability for chargers will be all over, and so we noticed, we've been monitoring the use behind it. We're not losing a lot of money, but enough that we need to pay attention to it.
Okay.
And also I was quoted in the Globe today, I just saw about it, what I said during the meeting.
Okay. Well, yeah, you hope that the purchasing of the electric vehicles equals how many charging stations are going to be available.
Well, that's the thing. We're GRF, you know, we're only over the common areas. So a lot of people would like to charge in their carports. That's not a GRF function, that's a mutual function. Those who do have garages, they have the capability of purchasing the equipment to put them into their own garages. We're an old community, as you know. This place was built starting in the mid-60s up through the early 70s. You know, our electrical grid here is not enough to, if everybody tomorrow went and bought an EV an EV car, we wouldn't be able to accommodate that. So the good news is that the world as a whole is looking at it, because obviously California has some things on the horizon, you know, in the 2035-ish area about EV. So, you know, it's not a subject we're ignoring. It's just that right now it's a work in progress.
Okay, all right. And about how many months are you guys going to monitor the usage?
I think we discussed 6 months.
Okay.
Them looking at 6 months, and then Mr. Mejia, who works for VMS, he will bring back his report to us as a board so that we can evaluate.
Okay, well, we will wait to hear what that review will be.
Us too.
So moving now to financial updates. First off, investments have stabilized. Tell us about this.
Right. So, the market has had a wild ride, and suddenly, we have certain rules and guidelines that we have to follow with our investments, and we have our reserve account is quite large. So we have an investment company that we've been using for the last few years, and there was some movement, and we had some losses, and then there was a lot of talk about us selling off and moving into different things, but we would have suffered an even bigger loss. So the good news is that the market has stabilized. Our advisor is now paying, they've always been paying attention, but now we're moving things, and so we're stable. What we thought we lost has now been evaporating. Okay. So we stood the course. It's the problem is people, they see something and they react. When you're in the market and in these treasury bonds and funds, you have to be calm, and you have to be rational, and you have to stay the course. And so with the guidance of our financial group, our treasurer, Jim Hopkins, our financial committee, we all determined that we would stay the course, our group, and so that benefited us. So now we're stabilizing. We've made up a lot of the losses, so the losses are nowhere near. They were about, I think at one time, maybe 600,000, and now we're down to much less.
Okay.
So like we feel like over the next few months that will be gone too.
Okay.
So we'll be back into normal.
And so when did all the losses happen? Was that
like
just
last year?
Last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because we started having that we had treasury bills that were like at 0%, and now suddenly they jumped up so high, and nobody reacts as quick as you want it to. Yeah. So, we decided to stay the course, and we're glad we did, and we're proud that we did, because it benefited us overall, and financially. We won't be in any financial, I want to say distress, because we're never in distress. We have $35 million in assets, but we are stabilized in our investment income, and that was the goal, was to stabilize, and we did that.
That's very good news. Tell us about golf and the revenue with golf.
So we've had golf maintenance operations going on. We've had the driving range project has been an ongoing thing for a while. Finally, that got started, and so with those, with the maintenance and the driving range not being open, that brings golf revenues down a little bit, but our golf revenues during the pandemic were skyrocketed. So even if we say golf revenue is down, it's still very good. It's just, we got comfortable with these very large amounts during the pandemic. But as soon as the golf driving range is up and running again, and the golf is up to full speed, we'll be back with no problem.
When is the expected for the driving range?
I'm not sure of that, because it has changed. I think they ran into a little snag. So the last I heard, there was a little snag, but they're back on track. So I wish I could give you a definitive date, and I'm sorry that I can't, but not for a few months at least.
Okay, yeah. Okay. And then cable television. Mm-hmm.
So we've been, as a goal, we are a very unique community because we own our broadband and we own our own equipment. And so, but streaming and Netflix, Amazon Prime, all of the things like that are now something that people are getting aware of. And in fact, I've been educating them on my show about moving to streaming. So as a result of that brings our revenue down a little bit, because people aren't adding on. Let's say they were buying their box from us, renting their box, and they were adding HBO. Well, now they can buy HBO through an app, and it might be a little bit cheaper. So they're going to HBO. But we expected this, so this was not we anticipated that this would happen. And we want people to start to move to streaming, because programming costs have skyrocketed, and for us to continue to keep buying the channels and things, we do this every few years. We have to renew our contracts. they have become exorbitantly expensive. And as a community, since that comes out of our pocket, we have to weigh it out. We have to weigh out whether or not we are the ones providing the content or whether we move people to streaming. And it's an ongoing conversation. We have a full committee, a broadband committee, and that is, we talk about this constantly.
Wow.
So
how far in the future do you think it will go to 100% streaming?
Well, that's $1 million question. When we first started talking on broadband about this, we thought we had 5 or 10 years. Now we're probably looking more to like 3 to 5 years. And because we renew our contracts on a rotating basis for these different programming packages, we have to also consider that, because we have to make sure that we have something available. If a contract's going to end, we have to have an alternative, because our residents, they are used to having their television right there, and streaming is a paradigm shift. It's not the channel 7 on your remote anymore, it's a tile on your screen. So that's why I've been educating everybody.
So yep, the things are always, the only thing that's consistent is the fact that things are changing.
Exactly.
So, and then, so the housing market here in the village, it's a good time to be a homeowner.
It is if you want to sell, I hope. But yeah, so, you know, the resale market, it's showing that we're down when you look at our numbers, but the problem is not that the numbers are down, it's the manners on the market are down. People are staying here. It's a wonderful place to live, and they realize it's a wonderful place to live. So they're staying in their homes, and they're not selling. So our availability on the market right now is very, very low, and that's what's bringing our overall numbers down. You know, unless somebody, all of a sudden we get a lot of people who want to sell, I don't know when that's going to shift, because I think we're down probably, like, the number of available units on the market is like half of what it normally is. And that's a significant number.
Wow.
And then if you listen to the overall real estate market, you know, the prices in Orange County have stabilized and come down a bit too. But the interesting part about this community that I've known, I've been here for 6 years, is that our property values don't rise as quickly, but they don't fall as quickly. So we're pretty stable right now.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask, is if the low inventory is driving up the prices of the houses.
I'm sure in certain units it is, especially ones that have been remodeled. I know that, but some units are staying on. If a really nice unit comes on the market in a good price point, maybe 2 to 10 days at most.
Wow.
Yeah, and I don't know that we're having the bidding wars, but I'm not in real estate, so I don't know. But so yeah, I don't know if we're having the bidding wars, but I do know that the time on the market for a desirable unit is very low.
Very quick.
Yeah.
Okay. And so budget meetings, I saw that on the meetings today. There's 2 meetings.
Yeah, those were the mutual meetings. But yes,
right.
we start our budget planning. The first meeting we have is something like May, and then GRF has their budget meetings. Then we have an overall budget meeting, and then the mutuals have their budget meetings. But it's an ongoing iterative process that we do for several months before we come back with the final budget that we all vote on.
Okay.
So budgets, we have our pencil sharpened, and everybody is scrutinizing. As you know, costs have risen substantially, and it's a challenge in our community because we do know that so many people are on fixed income that to keep our HOAs where we can keep the level of service up but not go crazy with raising our fees. It's a big challenge. People don't realize how hard we work on this. We all live here. You know, people will say, well, you're not looking at it. We are looking at it because we have to pay it too.
Right.
So we're really like focused on trying to come to that happy medium.
Okay. And then you have a couple of committee updates to discuss
these were
as well.
important. Yeah. So these were important to me. That's why I decided to talk about these specifically. So, you know, we put some flashing stop signs in, and I was involved in that, and I'm proud of them. But some people, so we're looking at the effectiveness of those stop signs. We did it as a pilot anyway. People got very upset about them, but we never intended to do more than a small number to see, because we had a lot of people are rolling stop signs. They're not paying attention. We have a lot of pedestrians. We have a lot of visual impaired people here. So as a result of the Vision Club last year, and when we started the stop sign project, now the conversation comes up for our crosswalks. We have several crosswalks that don't have stop signs, and so we're trying to figure that out. So it was decided in that committee that they would get a study done. And so they're just embarking. They just approved it.
Oh, good.
So we don't know the results.
Yes. Well, hopefully that turns out well. And we're just about out of time.
Oh, okay.
So any
Wow.
one last update you wanted to mention?
My pet project, the Clubhouse 1 renovation, finally, years of discussion, we finally are going out for bids to start our beautification project at Clubhouse 1. It'll be done in phases because we use that clubhouse so much, we can't possibly take rooms out of commission for very long. So we're excited. We picked our colors, we picked our flooring, our lights. We're excited.
Oh, how exciting. Yes, wonderful. Well, thank you for joining us. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Bobby.
And stay with us because we have announcements and weather coming up right after this.
Who is RadNet? You've probably heard our name and seen our commercials, but you still might not know who we are. RadNet is the largest provider of outpatient imaging services in the United States, with over 8,000 employees and almost 400 imaging centers in 7 states. Likely, if you have had diagnostic imaging, you have experienced RadNet's high-quality, cost-effective imaging services. With 35 years of expertise, RadNet is leading into the future with advanced technology and the very latest AI technology. We are positioned for the future of healthcare. RadNet, leading radiology forward.
Welcome back to This Day. We have a couple announcements for you. First off, coming up is Dine with the Doctors. This is the 9th annual Doctors Luncheon. It's going to be held in Clubhouse 2 at 11:30 a.m. on July 14th. So please give Leslie a call to check out that event. And then also coming up this weekend on July 15th, Saturday, it's going to be the Southland Mega Groove. This should be a really fun night to check out this group. So definitely check that out. Taking a look at our weather for today, sunny skies ahead. Today should be a high of 86 with a low of 63. Friday will be 85 and 65, and same for Saturday. Be a little bit of clouds on Sunday and Monday, but then we'll clear off to beautiful sunny skies. So looking ahead, tomorrow on this day, Michael will be back here in the studio, and he'll be joined by the Music Lovers Club and also Concerned Citizens. So that's it for this day. You can catch us again at 12:30 and 5 p.m. or also check us out on YouTube. For This Day, I'm Bobby Higgins. Have a great day, everyone.
At Healing Hearts Emergency Animal Hospital, we are dedicated to emergency veterinary care through high-quality veterinary services and compassion. We offer state-of-the-art diagnostics at competitive pricing. Our doctors will see and care for dogs, cats, and most exotics. In case of emergency, rest assured Healing Hearts Emergency is here for you when your primary veterinarian is closed. Open nights, weekends, and all major holidays.